Ever tried the De Leon?
Nah, I ain't tried that.
The De Leon
The
bottle
tequila?
is pretty sweet.
What's that, tequila?
It's tequila, though.
So I haven't dabbled into the tequila wave yet.
I think I tried that. But
Me
I
and
haven't,
Migos,
drank
me and the
it.
white Migos, don't go. Tequila made me black out.
That shit is good though.
I do the brown
I
one.
tried to figure out what all the hype was, but it was
Reposado
pretty
or
good.
Anejo, yeah.
Yeah.
Tequila's more like a party
Those are
type
just
of vibe.
aged longer.
And they're not really aged.
Yeah, it's just the
like
way
3
they're...
months for a Reposado.
Exactly.
It's like, what the fuck is that? 3 months age. And ain't shit. And I think Añejo goes up to like 2-3 years at best.
Mm-hmm.
all right. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Facts.
I think tequila, though, the beginning part, the developing part, does also take time, too. So then that after part is not as necessary for...
To age that
Yeah,
long.
like with 100% agave. Because
Okay.
tequila is the only alcohol, to my understanding, that you can have on a paleo diet. And that's like an all raw diet. So...
Because it's not you don't have the same shit that you have with the whiskeys or other shit.
Exactly.
Because the
So
agave is more clean. It's
It's
more
literally
natural.
the cleanest thing you can have.
That's
like,
why them gluten-free people drink tequila.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Are you a gluten-free person?
I've been tested, so no, but I'm in that category of just sensitive. Yeah.
You
So,
gotta be picky.
Yep.
Okay. I have a lot in gluten.
So the 100% vegan water shirts fit you very well.
It's even more fun.
Yes,
It's
yes,
actually even more fun.
yes. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So that's your go-to tequila?
Yeah.
All right. And what's your go-to? What's the one that you buy? What you gonna turn up? What you want you gonna buy?
Oh, I feel like Espolón off the top.
I've seen that one.
And then Milagros hitting cool.
We had that with Trap Phone. I actually mixed that with my whiskey.
Did
that
we
time.
have that one?
That's what we had. the
Casamigos, but I feel like that's overpriced and like we're getting away
It's,
from...
yeah, for the hype of it.
Yeah,
it's like,
we're getting
it's like
away
Henny.
from...
It's like Henny.
Yeah, I don't drink Patron because that's not actual
Patron is trash.
pure tequila. That
Patron
makes me
is
sick.
trash. If you go to
That's
Mexico,
what
they
made
won't
me
even
not like tequila.
Yeah.
when
They don't
I
drink it in
first-
Mexico.
I know, because if you go anywhere, that's really the top choice. But now Casamigos is because, you know, we've
The hype of
hype.
black people.
transitioned. Yes, so...
It's funny how black people made a Mexican drink popular.
They go straight to hip hop though, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
They go straight to hip hop.
Oh my god, that is actually really sad if you really think about it. Yo. We make everybody else's culture hit except for ours. Yo.
Bro, you know how much money Lamborghini and all them shits that made off of rap music?
That's a fact.
You could have bought a nice ass Ford, bro. Fuck out of here.
Right.
You could have bought something that was made here.
Nah.
Supported the
I like Fords, low key. I like Fords.
Nah, I can't.
They're
I ain't
doing
gonna
better
lie.
ever since
Not
their
you
whole-
recommended the Ford and now you don't like it.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I
Could at
was
least
just
with
trying
an
to.
Infinity at least or something. You
Nah,
know?
I like Toyotas.
Toyotas are nice.
Hondas
I
are
like
the best.
Lexuses. I like Lexus.
But
Lexus
they're
are
not
nice.
Okay.
US made, right?
I mean, Lexus
Which
is
one?
a
Hondas?
No,
It's
those
Toyota.
are
Toyota.
Asian.
Toyota,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know, it just
Asian
depends on
made,
your
yeah,
liking.
with Toyota. Yeah.
Should we start? Then I roll up, or I roll up.
Yeah, start
Then we
the
start.
roll up. Let's get this vibe.
All
on.
right,
I like
we're
this
going
vibe.
down. All right, so I'm gonna do a countdown, and then
I thought we started.
Honestly, I was fun.
We do a pre-show.
that's how we start.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we start.
That.
I don't like to just jump into it. It's like raw sex. You gotta you can't just, you gotta lube it up, get it wet real quick. Just go right into it.
Well, you can when it's right.
But when it ain't right, you're gonna hurt both you and her. And I don't like being hurt. I don't like anybody else. That's painful as fuck.
Mentally and physically.
Hell yeah, because you just you get turned away from pum pum for a couple of days, you know.
Hell yeah. It's traumatizing.
Matter of
Call
fact.
it rug burn.
I am higher than giraffe nipples right now.
Giraffe has nipples?
I don't know. Females
Oh my
must
God, they
got to.
probably do. How do
I
they?
mean,
how
you
the
think
babies
so, right?
have milk?
Yeah, you would assume.
Do the babies
They're
drink
underneath.
milk?
They have to be.
Do
Like,
giraffes
under.
have baby
I've never
milk?
seen giraffe nipples.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Giraffe
I think they're
milk.
underneath. You know,
I'm gonna Google that later.
like
Hey, I got a punchline. Giraffe
Black
milk
guy
probably
there.
gets you high as hell.
Wait, why didn't I have giraffe milk? They have goat milk.
okay.
They milk
Why would
everything
you,
else.
Why would you milk a giraffe though? That shit probably curdly as fuck.
It's probably the easiest to do. You don't have to crouch down.
You can stay. You just
Right,
get a
that's
ladder.
all the
Yeah.
shit. You just
You get a ladder.
Right here.
You ain't gotta hurt your back.
That shit get too excited on your ass. and-
yeah.
Nah, honestly,
Immediate
when we was
death.
in Jamaica and we used to milk cows back in Jamaica, that was the best milk ever.
That was the best fucking
Best milk ever. Fresh from the cow,
I'm talking
nigga.
about
Right.
the best fish
Yeah,
ever,
yeah.
the best
And
crab
it's
ever,
such
the
a-
best ever.
So
Yo,
you
but
don't eat
I
crab in
couldn't
Jamaica?
even
He-
imagine.
he-
I
he-
couldn't.
This man
About
does
this.
not eat seafood.
I don't
Seafood.
But
like
it's different
seafood
down
out here. I
there.
don't like
I
seafood out
understand
here.
it's fresher
I don't
and
like
it's
it.
like probably cleaner and da da da, but at the same time, Yo, we got fresh ass seafood up here too, and he
No,
just
we
don't give it a
Nah,
chance.
but
Yes,
when
we
you,
do.
yeah,
we
we
do.
do,
Yes,
but
we
it's
do.
not like.
I don't know where you be eating,
bro,
but we
I
do.
swear to God,
All
bro.
the good
like,
seafood
I'm
in
not gonna
Connecticut
hold
come
you.
from like Maine or somewhere
Yo,
else.
I've
No,
had
we
it
got it off the
before, right?
coast,
But
too.
it just doesn't give me the same taste as like fresh, like caught out the water. I just clean this. I just boil this myself.
It just died
Actually,
10
wait,
minutes
I'll take
ago.
it back. There's one
Like-
place
like,
that actually do have
I
decent
just had
seafood.
this
Where?
in my
Good
hand
seafood
moving.
in Westbrook, Connecticut.
Okay.
That's some decent seafood.
Okay, that's
I'll say
dope.
that. But that's where the white people, so of course they're going to get the better choice of the litter.
Well, yeah, that's where.
You
Yeah, that's
think
definitely
so?
where it's
Well,
at.
yeah,
Listen,
it does be like
I used to
that.
do
I'm not
living.
gonna
This
lie.
nigga, his house, his retirement home cost him $650,000. His backyard was a whole bunch of yachts. I'm dead serious. Like he was a
That's
retired
He
what
just
artist.
did.
needed the
Newport.
yard.
He was a retired
yeah.
artist, so he lived near the beach and shit like that. This nigga had bread
Okay.
and Parkinson's.
Not Amber.
I like the.
Damn, fuck the bread, bro. After that,
Yeah, not you come on.
you should have led with the Parkinson's, nigga. Like,
I think the way I said it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
yeah, cause now fuck the money,
Like,
fuck all that
damn.
shit, nigga. You got
I
Parkinson's.
think the most funniest part of it was his nickname was Dick.
Dick
Why
is
was that
crazy.
funny?
Because when his friends come around and call him, I was immature, bro. I mean,
Right. Like at
still
that
am.
point, you're just
I was
like.
about to say, what?
I still am. But every time, because
You
it's
just
like,
chuckle a little bit.
yeah, every time he's like, "Is Dick around?"
It's funny because then obviously it's funny when somebody asks.
Because they're dead serious, and in your head is like, "You can't be serious," and like you expect me to take it serious. Like, come on, you expect me to laugh. That's why I love calling. That's why I love that word, man. That's part of the reason why I love that
It's
word
just
because of that
like,
experience.
I
I had a
don't know.
great time, yo. Like,
guess-
I used to start calling him Dick just for chuckles. Every time he pissed me off, I'm like, "All right, Dick, you're doing too much.
Just for chuckle.
You're doing too much."
Dick.
Who passed me this?
I did.
Okay.
Oh no.
Was
I
it?
don't know. I
know
don't
who
remember.
passed it to you. I didn't pass it to you.
This is weed and whiskey where y'all getting us high. Usually we get drunk, but we getting high. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
I want to roll this one up because I was waiting for my plug to bring this one out. This one is called Snake Cakes. Ooh.
Are we gonna start? Matter of fact, fuck it.
Start this shit, man.
I'm about to
Alright.
All my niggas we coastin', high grade we smoking, on the highway we rollin', crack a bottle we toastin'.
Damn, and another episode of Weed and Whiskey. I feel like we've been doing this back to back because we have.
We literally have. What you mean? We literally have been doing this shit back
Welcome
to back
to another
every day.
episode of Weed and Whiskey where I'm going to fucking say it again because it's nothing but true and it stands firm every single time where we only allow nothing but great fucking personalities on here. And this is why we do the pre-show. We do the pre-show because we like to, when we meet people for the first time, I'm going to use the same analogy that we use, you know. It's like sex. You can't just rush into it, you know. You got to warm up the personalities. You got to see how y'all bond with each other and how y'all mesh, you know, see where y'all could go, the things you can say and how comfortable you guys are going to get. And that's what I like. So you guys came in here. I knew it was good because, you know, low-key, I see y'all gave the friendship hug when y'all first saw each other. And I was like, all right, that means they coming with good vibes. They're happy to see each other. So that means I'm going to have a good time in here. And then when they came in here, we got some hugs, too. And I was like, oh, they huggers. All right. Not everybody's huggers, you know. So I like that. I like that
I
energy.
shake their hands. I'm not
You
gonna
ain't
lie.
special then. All right. So I'm special. Say less than. So that's what
You
we're
mean?
going
I
on.
just shake people's hands. Let's reach out for a handshake. Fuck COVID, bro.
Nah, facts, but it's all good vibes.
We are. So it's all
COVID
good
made us
vibes.
forget about shaking people's hands, bro.
First of all, the reason I don't shake hands right now, because I'm not even embarrassed to tell this nigga. I shook somebody's hand the other day, nigga. Nigga shook my hand so hard, I couldn't even fucking move my hand for a couple seconds, yo. Full disclosure, I have a broken wrist. So it's like, it's not all the way back there yet. So I literally can't squeeze as hard as I should, too. Nah, it's funny. It is
I'm
funny.
just saying.
It is
You
funny.
might re-broke your hand real quick.
So it's like I'm getting back there right now. So back to my introduction right now. So back to our great fucking personalities in here. We have a Budtender in here and a weed influencer in here as well too. And honestly, when we got
going around,
when we got put on to the people that was in here, to be honest with you, I was so excited about this. I never heard of a Budtender. Never heard. I've heard of a bartender, but I've never heard of the people who work at the dispensaries as a Budtender. I think that's fucking cool, personally, because what Kanye say, never drink from somebody who don't drink.
That is
So-
the line I go to repeatedly.
So when it comes to my weed, I feel more
Same
comfortable
way.
buying it from somebody who knows their shit.
Facts.
So with that, honestly, I feel like I'm gonna fuck names up again. My brain is all over the place.
No.
So I think I did a well enough introduction so far. So I'm gonna have you guys close it off and come in and introduce yourself properly. And remember, the primary rule is
No
humbleness. So go ahead.
So I'm Shay, also known as Shacy Stoner, and also known as Afro Latina on IG. So follow me. I'm a budtender at Days Cannabis. If y'all see me looking down a little bit, it's because I'm rolling up. But ultimately, my goal is to model, be a weed influencer, help people in any way that I can, and kind of just make the world a better place. So that's where I'm at right now.
Ooh.
Yes.
Miss America, vote for her. Go ahead, you
Hello.
next. Okay.
My name is Kenli. On Instagram, kenli.helena, Helena. I'm a current weed influencer right now. I used to work at a dispensary, actually, during 2020. Not the best experience. I had...
We're going to talk about that.
Yes,
Yep,
yes. A
yes,
few
we are.
issues within the work industry. But overall, I mean, I kept, my head down and kept myself involved in the cannabis community. And overall, I just want to make sure that everybody's hearing the true, details of what's actually going on
yes.
behind the scenes. But as well as still, advocating for the plants, as a
Of
whole.
course, as you should.
So, yes.
Actually, I have, before we even go into it, I actually have a requested question for you guys.
Really?
I have a friend who wanted to know if you wanted to get into like the weed business, and is it like how you get into like being a regular business? You get your LLC and get your retail sales license, and then you get the products and you sell it. Is there extra steps you got to take because it's weed?
There are extra steps you have to take because it's weed. Like, for one, there's licensing, there's distribution, there's outsourcing, there's a whole bunch of things that you have to keep in mind when it comes to owning anything related to weed because it's not legal on a federal level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it varies state by state, but at the same time, it's very costly also. So it's not something you can just jump into and say, oh, I want to own a weed dispensary. Like, it's something you have to plan and actually, like, work towards to
Is
have
it
everything fall
expensive
into
to a
place.
startup? Like the startup cost is very expensive.
I would
heard you
imagine.
I heard you have like 50 bands to start up a dispensary.
Honestly, within the licenses themselves, based off of my research that I've done in Mass, the licensing can range anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 due to attorney costs,
Facilities,
yeah, like basically
Actually saw an
everything.
interesting article today about Connecticut specifically and the people opening dispensaries. So their social equity program, I guess, has a $3 million fee attached to it.
Yeah.
So anybody that's actually going through that program, yes, you can
Have to pay the $3
get
million.
passed, but that bill is attached, that fee is attached,
Damn.
and it's actually the highest in the U.S. right now at that number. So, which is just absolutely insane.
And also something low key that I found out the other day, that Connecticut dispensaries have to source from only certain growers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it'll be monopolized pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another problem I have with Connecticut when it comes to the marijuana laws in general. Like most of them, actually none of them have anything to do with social equity or prison reform or anything to do with helping minority groups and
But the
People-
minority white people.
not
that
even
have
minority
access to
white
it.
people, because if you're broke, you're broke. They don't care.
Right.
It's
Right.
money
Yeah,
versus
it's money.
it's rich
Right.
versus
Literally
poor.
Right.
have to have the cash.
It's not
You just gotta have
anything.
money. It don't matter what you
cash or
look like.
credit.
The
yeah.
race comes in when it's kind of like
Too much black people are doing it.
not even too much black people are doing it. It's kind of just like the amount of people who are already in trouble because of it are black, so they're already at a disadvantage. To
Yeah,
not
and
be
you
able
come
to
out
open
of
up.
jail, you might still have a record, and
Yeah.
that's something that related directly to the cannabis industry. Like
Yeah.
they're totally, putting a wall up there so that you can't even have access to even getting a job in the
Exactly.
industry.
Yeah, that's fucked
period.
up.
So
It's like a felony with a gun charge or something. You
Exactly.
can no longer get a gun license.
And it's hard
like
for you to
any
get a gun
felony.
license with a medical card. Like, it's hard for you to have both.
yeah.
And I'd rather my gun card. I don't give a fuck about it. I'm black in America. Fuck all of that. I'd still rather buy weed from the streets before I sit here and do that. I'm still convinced once it get too legal, it won't be real weed anyway.
Well, that's how I feel, at that federal level.
Yeah, that federal level is gonna be different.
I mean, you see, I don't know if anybody's seeing what's California, their news that's happening lately. Just they recently passed a bill or introduced a bill, penalizing any businesses that are not 100% legal. So if they're running, illegal.
Grow facilities.
Yeah,
and things
exactly.
Like that. I've seen that
Every
too.
day they're gonna be charged I don't know, let's say $300,000 a day,
Damn.
something.
Damn.
I'm probably making up a crazy number, but it's up there.
And some of them charge
Yeah.
per
No, that
plant.
sounds
Like some
right.
of them are per
Yes,
plant.
you
So
have
let's say you
to
have
count.
an illegal grow facility up in the mountains or something, and you have acres of growth. They charge you per plant. Like that's
So it's
crazy.
every state, they have their ways, they have their little small print.
How they
aspect.
fuck you over. pretty much.
Exactly. And I feel like what's happening in California right now is a perfect example of just them trying to, squash the black market totally
Yeah, I think
before
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I
before
think so,
they
that's
bring
before they
into the
bring- yeah,
industry
it's-
federal, at that. Because
And
if
try to
they don't
control
have
it as much
control,
as they can.
exactly, it won't go the way that they're planning, quote unquote, if there's too many,
You can't-
outsiders.
Yeah, you can't really totally take control of something if you still have a dominant black market.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I don't think the black market's ever going to go away, has it?
never. It's gonna get stronger.
Exactly. And that's
Especially
what
as you get more legal,
I keep
it's gonna
seeing
get more
that. So
stronger.
people are like, all you're doing
You know
is
who
just
told me
feeding
this?
the
My
monster.
plugs told me this.
Yeah.
My plugs told me this before it even
Yep.
got to this point.
Oh,
My
yeah,
plugs
and they
told me,
would
like,
know.
nigga, we ain't going nowhere. This shit is only getting be even more prominent
Exactly,
after this.
because prices are high in dispensaries, tax crazy.
And you're not always getting good weed from the dispensary as
Oh,
well, too.
and
that's the
that's-
thing about it, too.
Yeah, there's
Or it's not
definitely
fresh. You be getting weed that's packaged like a whole 2-3... That's
years
what my plug was
ago.
telling me. Yeah.
No, it's
My plug
very
was
true.
telling me.
Wait.
The thing about it,
You have to look at your
bro.
dates.
That's why
Yeah.
street people is always going to be problem because you're getting
Yeah.
weed that's still fresh, yo.
But the thing about it though, places like, for instance, Days that outsource, we buy in bulk, but in not a bulk where
Small batches?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where the
small
product
batch
is gonna
bulk,
be
exactly.
sold.
Quickly.
and
You
be-
don't sit on it.
yeah,
You're not
you
sitting
don't, we're
on it.
definitely not sitting on product. And
Something that if you see it online, you got to go get it because it might not be
Might not
there
be
when
there.
you're like,
Exactly.
oh,
butter,
a week
like I said, that
later.
butter stuff wasn't there the next day. Cause
Exactly.
I got that
Yeah.
shit.
That's
Shit
what
like that.
a dispensary should be doing, not having stuff sitting on the shelf or sitting in the vault. You have boxes and boxes of the same product because they buy it at that extreme cheap price. If you buy this many units, but now if you're
wholesale,
not
wholesale,
pushing
regular
it,
wholesale.
You buy
exactly.
1,000 units, you could buy it at whatever price you want.
It depends on it depends on how you're moving your dispensary. How you're pushing product. If that's something that's a necessity or not, or if you're just saying, this is the strongest thing on the menu.
And it don't always be. Because you can't always go by THC content, though. THC content isn't always the best strong.
Oh my
'cause
God.
It's not best weed
since you
compatibility.
said that, let me make a huge disclaimer. Please. Because when you're purchasing bud, there's two things you should look for: quality and the effects.
Okay.
You're not looking for
Facts. I
the
always look for
THC
descriptions.
content in the bud, because that THC content, yes, it may be high, but if it doesn't have the right
Effects.
strains or
Yeah,
the
it
right
might not affect
contents
you
in it
in
to
the same
affect
way.
you, it's not going to hit you the way that it would hit somebody whose body takes it better. And that's the controversy when people talk about terpenes and THC count and all of these extra things, because it's a combination of both.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not just about the THC count that's in the weed, it's also about the terpenes. And there's 5 major terpenes that distribute mainly around Massachusetts because they're legalized, and it's what we know most about them. And we really don't even know much about them.
What are terpenes?
terpenes are the flavors or the smells that you get from the weed in itself.
Like, you know, when you see like the orange hairs or those different types of hairs on it, those are different terps that gives it different colors and different characteristics.
Okay.
The scent, profile that's attached, taste.
So what are the 5 major terpenes?
It's limonene. Sorry, I'm not good with
That's all right.
honestly, and with
I
all due
wasn't gonna look
respect-
this shit up anyway. I was
with
just
all
gonna take
due-
your word
No,
for
yeah.
it.
With all due respect, every video that I've ever watched on these, everyone stutters over these damn
The
words.
pronunciations are definitely something that,
It's limonene,
you know, Google.
linalool, myrcene. What's the other one? There's 2 more. Pionine, and there's one more.
I'm surprised you could remember those, cause
Right?
shit.
Yeah.
Those ain't even yeah.
I know my shit now. I'm not doing this for no reason. Trust and
Yeah.
believe.
All right.
Sound
And
like he's
honestly, you'll what I love seeing now is like, okay, and a lot of natural products that are out there, let's say body wash, soaps, things like that.
There's stuff more THC
You will
in
see a lot of sativa, platforms and notes that are in the ingredient list or things like that. Also, the terpenes are all included in there because it's a part of the natural scent and botanical. So you'll start to see how like all the worlds essentially connect. It's just whether you're paying attention or not. Yeah,
And
it's
something
really
else too to look to when you're buying weed is the pungency. Like how strong is it when you
My
smell
plug
it?
just the richness in it.
That's
like when
truly
you smell
like
it,
if you
the
don't
nose.
smell it
That's
through
yeah.
the bag,
Nose,
if
right.
you don't smell it through the bag,
Hold on.
yeah, but
then
yeah.
that means that the
Fact,
terps
hold
have
on,
like
yeah. In the nose we trust.
no for real.
That's the
And
slogan.
At the
The
same time,
nose we
That's the
trust.
slogan.
if the smell is not there, that means that,
That
the
ain't it.
terps have like evaporated out of the plant,
Yes.
and that means it's not
Yeah,
as
no
strong
good.
as
Yeah,
it
no
was.
Because they
Exactly.
said the cure life for weed before it hits the street is predominantly a month before you can really smoke it because it's going to be too fresh at that point before you do it. So they're saying street weed, usually they get put out in like 2 weeks time because by the time it's bagged and reach the street and by the time it reaches smoker, it reached that month mark.
okay.
So dispensaries, they put their shit out forever, so that freshness mark is past its date or everything like that. So it
Because
don't
it
make
comes
no
to
sense.
them as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's already been sitting in the lab.
What I love
And then
about
have to go through
Days,
too much middleman before it even gets to the dispensary as well too.
Exactly. And what I love about Days is on their display case, you can smell the actual nugs that are on display, and not all dispensaries have that
Oh, you
feature.
can do that there?
Yeah,
I went in,
there's
but
a
I didn't
little,
even do that. I ain't gonna lie, I was looking for you.
There's
shit
a little
when I first went
tab,
in
you
there,
know,
'cause I was like, I need a
magnifying.
recommendation.
Yeah, and not all dispensaries have that. You know, a lot of them just have the jar to look at.
And to be cased up.
Most
or
of
it'd
them,
be- or it'd be like
yeah.
McDonald's, they give you the fake presentation of it, but it's not the real version
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, and they have versions where there's lights, included LED, but no smell feature,
Yeah.
or now even there's even fancier dispensaries. I mean, as you go further from where our cities
state,
are,
yeah.
but you can smell terpenes. They have like these humidifier type features that you can smell the terpenes
Really?
as you're touring the dispensary. So
Y'all gotta
You know.
put us on. Y'all gotta put us on. 'cause
Fact,
we
I
wanna
want to
do
know
shit
about
like
these
that.
damn places.
there's a few. There's a lot of places popping up. I mean,
So, like, what made you want to be a weed influencer? When did you fall in love with weed?
oh, okay. So my relationship with weed has been very interesting. I didn't truly start smoking until I was like 22. I'm 30
Okay.
right now, so to give you an aspect of years and just how long I've been doing it. But the high school, I was, drinking more than
Okay.
anything, and I went to private school, so I saw kids get kicked out of school for weed, like the boarding students. So that was just something like you couldn't get away with, and it wasn't worth, ruining
Yeah,
a scholarship or tuition.
exactly.
It wasn't free to go to school.
So you just stayed away from it.
Yeah, with that. And then college, it was like experimental. I used to have these like trippy experiences when I first started smoking. Like I see shit and stuff, and everybody's like, yo, you're fucking crazy. But I'm now I
experiences like
realize
that too.
it's really absolutely it's normal in an aspect. Not everybody has those same effects, but
They're just not
we're just
cool.
opening a third eye essentially. That's how
That's what
I
I
feel
feel
about
like,
it.
too.
Exactly.
Because it's like my empathy grew ever since I like smoking became my lifestyle, like I started feeling people energy a lot more different.
Yeah.
Honestly, when we did shrooms the other day,
Okay.
I
started
we did the shroom bars.
microdosing this
We did
year.
microdose.
Yeah.
So I'm actually trying to get into the actual plant now.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. But we did the shroom bar. I did like the dosage to make
Chocolate?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I did the dosage to make you trip. And I was feeling everybody's aura. I
Yeah.
literally was feeling like the dimming of people lights going in and out and everything. That shit was crazy.
Yes, I can attest to that. You know, I haven't fully tripped. I've been microdosing this year, experimenting with gummies, and it's been incredible. Honestly, it's
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that because I'm curious. How
yeah. And back to weed influencing, but honestly, I got into that specifically because working in the dispensary didn't work out as I planned. I was in school for marketing and trying to, mesh those two worlds together. It didn't work in the way that I planned, but, now I'm kind of on my own 2 feet doing it, which is a little bit better because I'm doing it in the way that I
more
want.
control.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of making connections, and Massachusetts isn't my, sole goal. I'm trying to reach out to
everywhere.
places all over the country. I've actually connected with a cannabis brand out of California. I'm not sure exactly what part, but they're beachy brands. It's called Old Pal, and they reached out to me to do some social media content this year or last year, 2021. So we're still connected and hopefully doing some more work going in this year. But just trying to make sure I'm spider webbing this scenario, for myself, and
Now,
it's been fun.
We might be able to put you on with our state rep.
Okay.
Because
Well,
that's where he want to go with that. He want to reach out with that.
okay. Yeah.
So with that being said, Shayla, with her bad experience with the dispensary, what made you want to go into it?
I kind of wanted to know that.
Yeah, like what made you want to go?
But I do want to know why you got into
I
Budtender.
got into bud tending because I've always been a weed connoisseur. Like, this is not okay, and I have amazing parents, so don't take this the wrong way. I've been smoking since I was like 14, so
Same here.
Don't worry about it, me too.
Same here.
My mom love me. It don't matter.
So-
It's good. It's all right.
But yeah, I've just always been kind of intrigued in the plant and its medicinal values and how it could help, and just in that way it kind of just drew me in. So when bud tending became an actual thing, it was
Right.
like the ideal job for me. And I first started at Netta, where it was a
Which one in Northampton?
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. I went there a couple times. I ain't like the weed they had.
Yeah, you don't get consistently good weed from them, and their selection got so small after a point.
That's the only thing I would say to that aspect, was that, yeah, their menu did vary to like say 50 buds. Every so often they would interchange, but it was like maybe
I
that
used to
many.
go see the same, but it'd be like Blackwater,
Yeah.
Kush or
Yeah,
some
Okay,
shit
so
like
like
that.
their
Same.
specific
Yeah.
strains.
Yeah,
It'd
because
always
they
be the
grew their
same.
own weed. It was all their own
Okay,
products.
so-
But if you
Everything
went to
was
Brookline,
Netta.
the Brookline one had more variations.
Options.
It had more
Okay.
options. But it's like, nigga, I'm not driving to fucking Brookline just
Yeah,
for fucking
no,
weed,
no,
nigga.
no.
I mean,
Wondering if their facilities are different. Like maybe Brookline was first, and
But I think so, because I remember one time I drove to one dispensary and I caught them and they was going to close. And they told me, it was like, if you drive to the next one, to the next day, I think it was like Holyoke or some shit like that. It was like, oh, they have different weed laws and different weed leniencies so they can open later.
yeah.
So that's one thing I
Okay.
learned
Also,
doing that.
I've noticed that about different towns.
Yeah,
the hours.
some can
and
open later
some
than
are open
others,
like
Yeah,
and
like
especially on Sundays.
liquor stores
is
open
open
till
till
11.
I know, right?
Yeah, I peeped
Yeah.
that. I was like, because on
Days is
Sunday I
open
thought I was
till
gonna
11.
be late because I went there like at 8:00, and I was like,
It's
oh,
really
they open
good
late.
though, because a
Open
lot
till
of
11?
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of our customers come
What?
in like at 9.
Yeah, a few in Holyoke, they're open.
Holyoke
till
is one of
11.
the few towns that
it's-
can open till 11.
That's
It's cool
fire.
because, like, especially COVID times, everything I know around here, mass speaking, we're closing 9, 10 o'clock.
That's
I mean,
early.
grocery stores, even Walmart,
Yeah.
things that are supposed to be open towards that late night. And so at least I can get my weed at a late hour,
That's the one. I don't care about getting groceries at fucking 9:00 at night. The fuck?
Well, when I was working late, that was like...
That's different.
Yeah.
The few people.
Yeah, exactly.
Few
But that's what I'm
people.
saying. those small communities, it's like...
But I feel like
Not
more
on
people.
dinner.
Right. I feel like
Honestly, I
He's on the
prefer.
board like,
Right, like,
we don't
yeah,
care.
we don't care. It's close at 8.
I feel like more
I'm good.
So you
more
gotta
people
get up
want
early.
weed. I feel like more people want weed at 9:00 at night than groceries.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
I'm not gonna.
But
Once you
I
get
prefer-
the munchies, you're gonna be tight when you can't get
Okay,
no
so
food.
we're
That's why
back
you go
to
buy before.
needing food.
If you're a smart smoker, you buy before. You
Smart smoker is one thing, but being a forgetful smoker is another thing.
We're both
Or
here,
you can
so
be
I'm both.
Yeah, I know, right?
both.
Yeah.
That's why I do everything. Like I've been smoking long enough to know how I get
you
when I get
know
high.
you get ahead of
yeah.
your.
So I know what I'm
Okay.
gonna want when I get high.
We're
so
still working
I
on
put
it
myself
over
in
here. Yeah,
I put myself
we're
in a mind
knowledgeable,
state.
but we're not all the way there yet.
right.
Because we were dumb. Like I was the type where we literally walk in blizzards for weed. Like that,
Oh, the things I think about. I used
Yeah.
to drive to Connecticut, like in snowstorms, like.
you drive to Connecticut for
Seriously?
weed. We drive to Mass for
Oh
weed.
no, that's so funny. See, I was working a lot here. My like friends were here. All I did was sleep in Mass for like a handful of years.
Yeah.
Like that's where my house was. But I was here a lot of the time, and that was my first experience with like sour chem and like these certain strains that I'm like stuck. And so Gorilla Glue out here.
Fuck
So
Gorilla Glue.
yeah,
I
but-
said it.
Well,
Maybe not their-
GG4
GG
is
fuck GG4.
fuck GG4.
Fuck GG4.
Yeah, I was about
Gorilla
to say,
Glue.
fuck GG4.
You know what's funny?
Gorilla Glue was fire.
I know it's funny. I literally,
Gorilla Glue got me stuck though.
when it first came
It
out.
got you that. It gave you that sour high.
Yeah.
Now that you said it, I
I
had
was
a.
about to say that. Yeah, it's like that's like New York sour though.
Yeah.
Like that's a different type of sour.
Yeah.
I had put two and two together right in the middle of us talking. I just realized exactly who you are because you just followed us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do
swear.
have a post talking about
Yes, and
Gorilla
I
Glue.
did. Yes.
Yeah, and it's
He was
by
like, just
a black
finally found
cultivator
some
in
real
Massachusetts.
original GG.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I just like, oh shit. Okay, so that's who you are now. All right, it's all
yeah,
coming to me
because
now.
I mean, working when I worked, for almost a year, let's say 8 months, all we did was see GG4 from different
GG4 is like the new
companies,
sour,
and it
yo.
was
Look
just
at
like,
that.
okay,
Or original glue.
yeah, and everybody's coming here. Oh, I want this, and it's like, okay, but can you, let's try
Try something
different
different.
things. But if you're stuck with that, cool, it's here.
What you rolling up now?
Napkin over there,
Which one?
the paper towel,
Where? Oh,
right next to the printer.
oh.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So let's roll into this question. What's your favorite strain? Both of you guys, favorite strains that you love up to this day.
Humble pie.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I had that one.
Humble pie.
That
is
one's
good.
just stuck with me, and I've had like just a few like heady experiences with it, and I like my weed to just have fun with it sometimes, like chill and really just like, oh, okay, like this is going on, and I don't know, it's a great smooth hybrid. I like to be functional when I'm high. That's very key for me. I don't like to be stuck in the body smoking too many indicas or anything like that, because
why I love
I'll really
indicas.
just eat a whole fridge
too.
and I'll just sit on the couch all day. But I can't do that, so I gotta stay in the hybrids, that middle zone. Yeah, sativas get me a little anxious here and there, but yeah,
Brings out the
yeah,
paranoia.
it's just
Yeah,
like
it's
too
definitely-
busy, and I got too many thoughts going
Heart is
on
pumping,
sometimes.
I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
She's an
but
overthinker.
sometimes I'll hit it here and there. It's just for fun,
Yeah.
like
Just for fun. Just for kicks.
If I'm active, I can do. sativas.
exactly.
I do sativas and I play ball.
Yeah, get you
Yeah.
flowing. I mean, that's good to go to the gym, like
head-
get the body moving type of thing. Absolutely, because sometimes you need that energy boost just a little bit. But
And
Let's
Miss
let you
Shayla.
finish. You have to finish
Yeah.
about the Budtender.
I think. I
You
can
went
finish.
to
we skipped because of
I'm glad you brought it back. We're good at doing that.
I know I'm lost. So
It's alright. We all.
weed and whiskey. It's this is what we do.
weed and
I'm
wine
just
and
trying to get
whiskey
drunk.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get drunk and high,
starting
and we
to get
have
drunk.
conversations.
The G
Straight to
does.
the butt. I'm surprised
But,
the ignorance didn't start coming out of me yet.
Oh, here we go.
It's because we're smoking more than drinking today. I think.
I know.
I think that's the
Yes.
key to this episode.
Yes.
But continue.
What was the question? My favorite
Strain.
Yes.
My favorite strain, I think, of all time is White Knuckles.
I never had that.
I love White Knuckles.
Where you get that?
It's a
Yes.
heavy. I got it from Netta, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
and
Fuck
that
you,
was
Nana. Why you have the good
gas.
shit when I ain't looking? God damn.
I was gonna say you missed that day.
Damn.
But it was a really heavy indica. Like if you're not a person who likes to be sedated, knocked out, because I use it for sleep. Because I smoke for like anxiety and depression. So
Well, maybe I don't smoke for the depression no more. Just for the anxiety.
I don't have depression, but I'm a very overly emotional person. Like,
Kind of just reels it in
yeah,
for you.
I have
and when
depression.
I'm very, very, I have highs and lows in a
Okay.
sense. So
You have bipolar a little bit?
no,
Okay. You sure?
no.
Look, she's like checking it. Checking
Look
it.
at him real quick, like,
Like, wait,
wait,
do
what?
Hey.
I gotta think
I'm
about
like,
it for a
no,
second.
it's okay.
You
You
said
know, dudes, do like,
what you talking about?
yeah, sure.
I don't, but when I do have my lows, for instance, it mellows me out. It puts me in perspective, and it's like, okay, it's not that bad. Come on now, like, get it together, you know.
That's why you do CBD?
I just smoke CBD because after I smoke THC, because it just kind of levels me
Mellows you
out.
out.
Yeah. Honestly.
So you
it's
do
great.
both back to back?
On
Typically?
occasion, yeah. Like, maybe I'm gonna do it today because I'm gonna have to go and drive home.
Right, like bring it. We gotta bring
Yeah,
it
I
down.
gotta, like,
and
bring it
we
down
gotta
a
get up
little
in the morning
bit.
type
No, we
stuff.
stay on 100 over
Calm
here.
down.
Yeah, I go to work like
So you
this.
telling me you high all the time?
Unless I'm at work, yeah.
That's wild.
See, I'm definitely high at work.
All right, so I
don't care what job
I'm one of those people, like, I'm always creating when I'm not at work, or if I'm not creating, I'm in my head, and I can't create sober. Like, if I'm editing an episode
feel
or
that.
editing some shit, I'm smoking in the
Get in the
process.
zone.
Like, that's why I made in here warm as well, too, because it's like, I sit in here, and the fact that I have, like, no windows allow me to literally just be in my own entire world. Like, it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it feels like 2 in the morning in here. But I'm just working. I'm in my zone. I got no distractions.
Reminds
I
me
lock
of
my
the
door.
casino.
And
Yeah.
then I got my own and I got my own privacy in here. Nobody bothers me when I'm in here because they know this is me time in here. Like, so all the work that I put in here, it pays off because I really get to enjoy my time in here. So I love that. And so when I'm sitting here, I got my laptop. I got everything I need to make merch or everything that I want. I got my music and everything set up. So I'll smoke the whole time. I'll literally sit here 4 hours and edit and smoke the whole time, my nigga. And at the end of the day, I still won't be high. Somebody will hit me
Yeah.
and be like, yo, you trying to smoke? And I literally go smoke. And I roll up while going to go smoke with them. Smoke on my way there. When I get there, smoke like a whole nother 4, 5, 6 spliffs in like a whole nother 2, 3 hour span. Then I come home and I start editing it again, and then I start rolling up again. And then I drink on top of that. So it's like my
And then
time.
you smoke on your way home.
Yeah,
From
sometimes.
leaving
It depending on where my mood is. Because like if I feel drained by other people, I have to smoke on my way home. Because I'm one of those people, like, I can't be around people for too long. And because certain people take your energy, like, and they suck it. Like, and it don't be intentional. That's the thing about it.
No, it's true.
It don't always be intentional. People are just takers subconsciously and don't even realize it. So it's like, you be around friends and they have days where they need energy and they're just taking it from you. So that's why I try to go around people filled with energy. Because I don't want to give more than I can give. Because my
Already.
capacity is
Yeah.
going to be so low that when I come home, I don't have
Just
the
on
motivation
E.
to do anything.
I know what you mean.
So it's like, that's why I'm so picky with how I even go about everything. And that's why I like to smoke as well, too. Because if I'm allowed to be in my head for too fucking long, my nigga, whew,
Yeah.
the thoughts that start coming, I get dark
Can
with my
feel you.
thoughts.
Sometimes it's good to have sober thoughts, though.
Yeah. Control
Yeah.
yourself.
Sometimes.
So
To
Until
have
it gets
that
too
balance.
real.
Yeah.
Until
for
it gets
sure.
too
You
real.
gotta have that balance.
Eh,
I'm gonna have to.
Look,
I
he's
have
like,
balanced enough things in life.
You know
I'm
what?
okay.
Something is funny with me. When I was in high school, I used to smoke when it was like an important day, like to help me
Okay.
calm down.
Okay.
But as I got older, now I'm sober during important days.
Me too.
So
I, like when I'm gonna do
I
important
can
shit,
get with that.
I actually
Yeah,
really like to
like-
be sober for those things. Because
Yeah.
I've learned you gotta be professional when it comes to certain shit.
Yeah.
and even so, being high, it's not saying that you can't be professional and still not do your job. It's just
It
that
just looked at
there's
that way.
it's not even the stigma, but at the same time, you just need to know that you can still do both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Like,
yes.
know when
or
enough is
know
enough.
limit.
Know your limit. Yeah.
Know when you're too high to do certain things.
That's the control of it. When you become out of control and now you're fucking up and doing, that's when it becomes something negative and you probably
Facts.
need to gear back.
Facts.
But
I could do math while I'm high. I'm proud of that. Not a lot of people can say that.
Facts.
Not a lot of people can say that. I'm actually really good at math when I'm high still.
Yeah.
I suck at math both
don't know.
ways.
Look, I don't know.
Sober.
I was low key a nerd like growing up, so I'm used to that shit right there. So I was good at everything.
Once it comes like, you know, in money situations, I feel like it can be more heady. But like if you're talking equations or like class material,
That's the thing. I can do
It's a little
equations in class
different.
and shit, but when it comes to like sometimes money, I'd be like counting shit doubles.
You went to public school?
tens. Yeah.
Yeah, public school failed us.
No, but I went
That
my
don't mean
public
shit.
school.
I could do the money shit.
Yeah, I'm.
I don't think
not
it's
like
that.
Count
Let me
money.
let me ask you a serious question
Wait,
though.
wait, no. Let me put a disclaimer because that ain't even sound right. Wait. I could count money, but I'm just saying. I got counted like 3 times.
No, there is a layer of pressure when you're behind a counter and there's, I don't know, retail. Yes, there's a pressure there.
Not
that,
really.
Well,
when
it
it's not
might
your money?
depend. It might depend
When
on the
you're counting somebody
environment.
else's money.
After a while, you get used to that shit. Listen, if that shit short $1, fuck it, short $1.
Well, see, in the dispensary
no.
environment,
You can't do
you
that.
might get written up for that, and your job is now at cost.
Always better to be over than under. Always.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's what I learned. It's always to be
Always.
over. But some companies don't even like being over too. I'm like, what? You don't want extra money.
They're
You
like,
stupid.
exact, yeah.
You stupid.
What's this extra $1 from?
Yeah, and honestly, if I don't even understand how it can be over and under if you're giving exact everything. So that's the problem. But
Yeah, too many hands.
Too
Well,
many.
there's a lot of hands going on, a lot of registers moving.
Is it
People-
is in the this shit? I'm all on bars. The dispensary, is it like how the bar is where money can go missing? You don't even know where it go missing at.
no, if
It's
it's
very secure.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't miss a
it's-
dollar.
This
Everything
is this is more of a
Everything.
structured
Yeah.
environment. Like you
everything
really,
is accounted for.
every register has probably a camera on it and visible to every single move that's being made. You're honestly supposed to lay everything in a way so that if there's any discrepancies later on, they can look at that and go, okay, everything's there.
Okay.
You did this and there's no problem, you know? So it's just protecting yourself first as an employee, as an individual, and then it goes from there, you know, business, blah, blah, blah. But again, you know, we're talking about the work environment and you're one of a handpick, you know? So if you're not in the way that they need you to be, whether you're actually doing your job correctly or not, it's like picking and choosing in this environment right now. So it's tough for definitely minority, and I feel like the dispensary world, if you're not in the right dispensary environment. Dazed is something totally different. It was not around when I was looking to work in dispensaries. You know,
So would you go back in the dispensary to work at Days?
I would. Now at this point in my life, retail, you know, like I've worked retail since I was like 13 years old. So like me.
Say no, it's okay.
No. I would say
labor laws?
going back to Dazed, if I had to go back to a dispensary, Dazed is something I would have been like, that's the environment I need to be in more.
At 13?
No. Now. No, not at 13.
I was like,
Now.
wasn't that illegal for you to be working at 13?
Well, I worked at Six Flags. It wasn't.
Six Flags was always doing illegal shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was some like
Funny
small
is-
law passed that was like, oh, 13s can work at Six Flags now, and I was
But
there.
summer.
What was your job?
Oh, I was just like doing drinks and Dippin' Dots, like the waters and sodas and Dippin' Dots,
God.
like
They got
basic
some
stuff.
cheap ass.
$13 an hour.
Yeah,
Dippin'
maybe the
Dots.
slushies if I
13.
wanted, but there was a lot of bees
Yeah,
over
Six
there.
Flags would be like $13.
They
many
paid for
bees.
like $6 an hour.
Yeah. That place was a setup, so.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It was something different. They had some cheap
But it's
labor.
good to, you know, like,
Well,
I will say that was my first job I got fired from, and the only job I got fired from.
What you do to get fired?
Well, they tried to like get me to snitch on other employees that were
They're away,
actually
huh? I gotta stop.
doing money, like stealing
tells me I gotta
stealing
stop doing
things,
that.
maybe, you know, not so much money, but like maybe stealing cups of Dippin' Dots. And we were allowed to take waters, but we weren't allowed to take sodas
What,
or
them $5
iced tea
waters?
or
Them $5
yeah,
waters?
like we can have whatever
these
water we
right
want,
here?
but
Yeah.
if you want something with a little color to it, or no, you got to pay for that. So, you know, that kind of small stuff. You know, I was the baby. I was very new when they hired me, and they just tried to get me to rat on everybody. And
I stole from Six Flags.
I did not.
I definitely did.
I'm sure a lot of people.
So, what's the bad sides of working in a dispensary? Both of you guys chime in on this question. Like, what you guys noticed so far. Don't implicate yourselves or anything, because I know one of you guys still working at a dispensary.
Of course not. I think the only negative part about working in a dispensary is probably just there's so much research not done yet on weed that it's hard for us to explain to everyone that we're not unknowledgeable about some things. It's just that the research isn't done yet. So people sometimes get like deterred from buying because they feel unsure about their purchase. And that can be a negative impact because we know the quality is there. Like, we smoke the weed ourselves, but it's not enough to convince someone if the research is not there for some people.
Okay.
So I would say that's
That's
just
like the main
that's just one of the
obstacle for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But as like from an employee standpoint, what's the disadvantages of working at a dispensary?
I guess.
Not many.
I guess it would be that the stigma if you want to go to anywhere else. Like, if once you leave the weed world, there's a stigma placed on you that.
And once you put that in your resume, it's
it's like, oh, so you're a functional pothead.
Yeah, and now people know your business.
Yeah. Whereas in the weed world, you're looked at as an asset rather than a liability.
Okay. Because now you come in with some type of experience.
Exactly. But if a smart person who just knows business in general knows that if this person can do it here, then they can do it here. Like, you're universal, a person who looks at just business, but some people don't, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, so you gotta get it where you got it, you know?
Especially now, a lot of people are starting to look at weed more different because it's starting to become more legal now. It's become more popularized, so that extra eye is on it on a whole different level now, especially on a microscopic level.
Exactly. But then there's places like down south where you could still go to jail for having blunts.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
Like where it's still
Down on South Beach.
North Carolina, we can.
Yeah, Florida's okay.
They was smoking weed
crazy with
all
that, too.
over the place.
Florida's trying to get their recreational, but they're
Florida's a whole
medical
different
right
fucking
now.
country,
So yeah, they're their own people down there.
Yo, Florida's a whole different country, dog. They like Texas. There was Texas before Texas became a republic. I'm dead ass. People did what they wanted in Florida. During the COVID times, niggas did what the fuck they wanted.
That's very true.
You can't tell Floridians anything. Niggas
That
walk around with
is
guns. You don't even have to
definite
need
fact.
you don't even have to be a citizen in Florida to fucking own a gun down there. You don't. You don't. Anybody
I'm
can
a
own a
little
gun
bit
down
scared
there.
of
Real
Florida.
shit. You could probably get a gun up here from Florida just like that.
All right.
There's people for that.
Yeah.
There's somebody for
All right.
Everything.
I don't know
I was gonna
nothing
say
about
there's
that.
somebody for everything.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Okay. No, no,
No
no.
questions?
Huh?
You just getting too high, too drunk?
I'm high right now.
Oh my god, man. Don't start being a little punk, man.
A punk. That's a strong word.
No, it's not.
Is it? It
It's
is.
okay. You gotta start putting your brain into things, bro.
I know. I'm just
That's
sure.
what you gotta do from here on, okay? You need to start doing like brain exercises.
How am I gonna put my brain in
Brain
things? I'm high as fuck. You talking about putting my brain into things? You got me over here
Or they
smoking
say, like, it's
29,000 blunts.
It's like the hokey pokey, you know.
I'm
Honestly, I was about to
fried.
roll up again.
I'm about to roll up.
I got a split waiting right here. That don't mean I wasn't about to smoke.
He's really talking all that, just
That
sitting on
wasn't
it.
mean I'm about to smoke. I like commentary.
This nigga
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
shit just to talk shit. I
Hell
swear.
yeah, that's what it is.
Do you guys run into like
Okay.
fake wannabes? Like
Wait.
people.
He didn't even get to introduce him, so I didn't get to introduce him yet.
You wanna come on? You wanna come on, Sparry?
Yo,
wanna hop
man,
on the mic?
it's Barry. I'm just over here cooling out.
Nah, hop on the mic.
Right.
We're actually doing the podcast. The video is just the plus.
Oh, it's a live podcast.
It ain't live.
Live.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Sparry, man. Human iPod representative, man. I'm here with Shayla Stone. I'm here with Kenli. Man, I ain't even gonna say his name, cause Kenli, I'm so sorry.
No,
Kenli.
you good.
Okay, all right, so, yo, we in here vibing.
Yeah.
Wait, say whose name? You can say my name. It's okay, man.
I
I'm gonna
man,
say
it's-
your name.
Yeah, I know that's great. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, this been my guy since middle school, man.
Yes,
This is
nigga.
crazy about it, man. We ain't linked up in a while, and we here today, so I'm so glad God did a blessing for us today, man. So I'm here, man. New single coming out in a second. It's called Hard to Love. There's a quick intermission to this, man, but I like this conversation. I'm gonna get in this conversation too, so let's keep it going.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
let's
funny,
go.
you know how deep niggas really know this nigga? If you actually even look at the friendship belong, like my boy Najee, his dad and Najee's dad actually knew each other growing up in Jamaica.
Yeah, that shit's
Wow.
crazy.
Like,
It's really a small world.
small fucking
Like-
world.
Yo, you know, I still see
Nah, we-
Najee Pops. Every time I see Najee Pops,
He
I hail
moved.
Najee Pops. He moved. That's why I was wondering why I see him in a little bit. Last summer he was around. Now he not around. Where he go now?
We talk about that off here.
All right, that's a
Yeah,
fact. That's
he
a
moved.
fact. Yo, man, shout out to family, because that's definitely family. Yo, shout out to my dad, too. Word. Fuck that.
You know what that
Yeah,
basically
that's a
said?
good guy.
You know what basically said about their dads? They were whores.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo, I ain't gonna... Yo, my dad's Jamaican. All right, so...
That's an excuse for everything. Like, yo, you be like, yo, what the fuck, my
certain
dad?
niggas know how to control themselves, and
Facts.
certain niggas know how to, you know, sow they oats. Go ahead,
Alright,
dog.
this is my thing. I preach this a lot, yo. Like, alright, cheating is not new.
Huh?
Cheating ain't new. The only thing with how niggas was cheating back then, yo, niggas cheated with integrity back then.
What does that mean?
She's like,
I don't know where you going with this, but you sound like you know what you're
Listen,
talking about.
He
for a
got
second.
it. A time he got it. He got it.
Listen.
Watch this.
Back then, men cheated with class. Men didn't cheat with the intention of hurting the main spouse that they're with. They actually took care of their family before they did any and all of that. Most of the times, a lot of women would only have the idea of their men cheating. They wouldn't know for a fact. They would only have the idea of it. But they wouldn't question it. Why? Because they knew that man was doing everything he was supposed to do for his family regardless.
okay.
So a lot of men did it with more integrity, with more class, and they handled home first.
So what is your argument? Is your argument that cheating is
Just done
valid,
wrong now.
or is it that it's just done wrong now, like she said?
Maybe both.
So you believe that
If
cheating
you're gonna
is
do
part of
it,
a
like
relationship?
no, I never said it's part of. I don't think it's part of a relationship.
So what
Like I'm
is
not
it
a cheater
then?
myself, because like I don't like me. I'm too paranoid to cheat. That's why I don't do it.
But
It
you
was-
believe if it's happening that you should do it with
Yeah,
integrity.
yeah, there's some type of class to it.
How does that make sense?
I'm a man. I'm a man. There's a lot of things that women rationalize that
I
to us
think-
as men don't make sense in no
I
way,
feel like
shape, or
no
form.
comment.
Too.
Maybe that's just that.
But maybe
gap
I was gonna
area,
say
like-
there's a.
Yeah, that's black and white, but to me,
Because as a woman, you don't want to be, you don't want to prove getting cheated on. No woman want to prove getting cheated
it's
on in
not
no way, shape, or
proven.
form.
It's just that
No,
it's
not
not,
proven, like,
happening.
I know, but
That's
that-
the point.
but to me, a lot of men, it's like as men, sometimes they're very hunters as natures. They like multiple women, and to them, it's a matter of, in a sense, conquering. You know,
enjoying
Well,
this
what I
conversation.
hear the argument is, you know, back when there was some type of direction to it, it was, you know, creating population,
and it was not as chaotic.
Yes,
and it didn't create.
it
It
was
wasn't harmful.
Yeah, there was a point to it, you know, with I guess growing society maybe and doing that. Now as we've grown through generations, there's been a lot of traditions along the way that have
Changed up to
stuck
everything.
to
And
or
now-
that have really mattered and made sense, and that some are just based off of, I think, pure ego or pride, you know, and
I think the
being
world
miseducated.
Yes,
and being
exactly.
miseducated.
But the world we live in is different than what it was.
well, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying. It's
well,
transitioned through all the ages, and I'm like, you know, I watch period pieces sometimes, and I'm like, the way they live, where you know you're sending your daughter off to get married to somebody
Like
else in
13.
a different country, and try to make your family now put them on the map through somebody else's status and money. It was all the money. It was money game and
was money
status
game.
too back in, you know. But it's also changed. Money is different now, and
plus what we call money wasn't actual money
yeah,
back then. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't what
It
people
was-
used to barter.
Right.
So everything changed over time, and it's to the point now we don't need actual money to actually make these changes. Or
now to bring
influence
this
or
to the
anything.
point to
digital.
cheating, I no comment, you know, from female
Alright,
standpoint.
let me ask you this question
but
then.
I understand
If a
some
man-
of the points. Like,
If a man is paying all the bills and taking care of everything, would you be mad at him if you find out he is cheating?
Yes.
now, would you be mad if you found out she was cheating?
Yes, 'cause I'm paying all the
wait,
bills.
I was gonna say, are you paying all the bills?
wait. You think because you're paying all the bills that in regard
Not at all.
is
No.
payment for
No.
her faithfulness?
That's not
No.
what I think. But
No, not at all.
however,
Then you think that her sitting at home is reward for you to go and sleep with other people?
no.
That's what you just said.
Not a reward. Basically, you turning a blind eye.
Okay.
That's not healthy at all, and that's not love.
All right, look,
Okay, so what-
I worked
how
at the
about this?
airport, right?
How about this?
Hold on, I worked at the airport, right? Let me
Separate.
let me
Hold
tell you
on.
how,
All right,
let me tell you how deep
He
this
started
shit
with
really
the
get.
airport.
Let me get how deep this shit get, right?
That's where I
I worked
should
at the
start.
I worked at the airport.
He about to go on a business trip.
This is one of my very first close gay friend ever. Grown man, right? Was chill. He worked for I don't even talk about the airline he worked for, but I worked close to his gate, so we used to talk all the time. And nigga used to put me on. He used to tell me because he's from Puerto Rico, and they could tell me them old Puerto Ricans they be in their 40s, 50s, got their family, grown kids, and everything. They cheating on their wives, but you want to know what? It ain't with women.
Men.
Exactly. They have a whole separate life away from their family, but they're handling home. They're taking care of home.
What's going on?
With all due respect,
Okay.
in my opinion, to me, that just may have something to do with livelihood and maybe her children or their children.
Because
or
at that
anything
point,
like
they're so
that,
deep
because
into the relationship.
Yeah, like, why is she
it's
still
like-
there?
That's a total different thing, but for your lively, if you're
So
no
it's
longer,
okay then?
no, I'm not saying it's. She knows
Some
it's
people
not
make
okay
certain
for her, but
decisions,
you
I
have to
guess,
make certain
and
decisions for your
certain-
family. Like,
True.
if your kids are at risk, I think that, and it's not like it's a negative thing that is impacting you. It's impacting only you, and you taking the brunt from it, but your kids are okay. I would say deal with it in that sense, maybe. But at the same time, I'm just like, me right now, I would be like, I love myself way too much to do that. Like,
I
I'm
think
taking
now
my kids
it's like
and I'm figuring
person
it
But what
to
out.
if you're
person,
happy?
maybe.
I'm taking my kids and I'm figuring
Well,
it out.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
what if
I
you're
think
happy.
it's person
Yeah,
to
that's what
person
I'm saying.
because
I won't be
sometimes I hear
happy.
people's like true stories and I'm just like, I really can't wrap my head around that. But
Yeah.
I'm also gonna take what you're saying and try to
Put
try
myself
to
in your
understand. Yeah, like really not judge you, but that's hard. It's a hard place. You know, of course, the first you hearing something crazy, it's like it's automatic
then you
judgment,
hear- and you
side
hear-
eye.
and
You
you hear
know,
actual
And it's
stories.
not like you're having intercourse with him at the same time. Like, you're not having sex with him, right?
I think it's. Can we all make sure we're protecting each other because that goes by the wayside a lot of these
Every time
situations.
I say
if you're
shit
just
like that, I
roommates.
think of one person. You know who. Every time I say shit, I think of one person. We tell him that all the time. Like, if you're gonna fucking step out, at least protect yourself.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I'm just, but you know,
All right.
the
What you
same
say that?
that's why I'm like, it's okay being single, people.
Yeah, no, it's okay to have toys.
It's okay.
Masturbation is healthy.
Listen, but I think
First of all, there's not a lot of array of men toys out there that you can invest in.
'cause
Well,
I think Pamela does her job.
you're right. You're right. I will say that they're starting to get a little better at that.
But it's for the men that's into their other men's sides.
That's true.
Yo, bro.
It's true.
You know what I'm talking about.
It is true.
You know.
But I think you
I don't know
can.
what the fuck you
we
talking
just had the
With the
conversation
weed
about
world,
the
you know,
P-spot,
now
bro.
it's getting a little easier to mesh the masculine, feminine side with the sexuality, you know.
I don't like
and
that though. 'Cause
well, I'm saying only
some boundaries-
product wise.
I know, but now we're having public conversations about things we shouldn't even be having public conversations about.
Oh, well, I
That's
was
my
saying when
thing
I
right
worked at
there.
dispensary, I would have couples, I would have the individuals telling me about their bedroom situations. I mean, husband, oh yeah, they're coming up here
Oh,
like
I need to know.
we're
I
having
need
I
to
work
hear
at
her
T-Mobile.
story.
I see through people's
We're having a
phones,
fun
and I be
night
seeing some
tonight.
shit.
what can you recommend to us? Because we're trying to get down, basically. Like, we want to have a really good time and have fun with each other. And what can you recommend?
Seriously.
I've had people come in here like,
What do you
Phil,
recommend for that?
there's a
I'm curious
handful
now.
of products.
Right.
Let me get my pen out.
Let's go.
So when I find somebody who's worth spending money on some good weed, I can know what to buy.
Yeah,
All right.
you know, there's okay, to start brand wise, 1906 New Highs. they have a line of different drops. They're in pill form, but we don't call them pills. They're drops.
Capsules?
Yes, actually drops. Capsules are a little different. There's a lot of categories now, I guess, when it comes to
Exactly.
edibles and that
It's like a
extension of
concentrate?
edibles.
It's like a concentrate.
No.
You literally take it like a pill. You swallow it, and it's included with CBD and THC.
So you get the balance.
Yes,
But
exactly.
everyone is measured differently.
Yes, the properties are all different. Now you also have different aspects to them. So you have a go pill, which is geared towards energy. You have
It's like that, the horny
go
goat weed, but weed's
G-O go. So like energy, like go.
So go
Yeah,
like
like on the go, and
get you
then
up. It get you up there.
oh yeah, I actually had.
like
I
I mean,
like to
like-
mix
in pill
them.
form.
Yeah, I like to mix them. So there's bliss, which is for happiness. They have
Are these
love.
flowers?
No, they're the drops. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you
Just
see them visually, you'll like get a better understanding of what I'm saying. Like they come in a little cap, like a container, and you can hear like 20
It's like
of them.
Blue Chew, but in weed form?
Yeah, and you swallow it. She's gonna pull it up right now.
We need that.
And
I need
they
that.
have-
So I mean, like like how he said it's like Blue Chew. Is it like Blue Chew?
Well,
We just did this.
so
So it's like Viagra
photo
weed?
shoot for them.
Oh, I seen that.
okay, yeah. I mean, there's a love one
those
that
the
is
drops?
for
For real?
arousal
They got
specifically.
those?
Yes,
They're
yeah.
little like
They have different categories. There's one for genius, so brain activity boosts,
that's
all of that.
fire.
If you're
I'll show you the
specifically doing it to study or focus,
Oh
they have
shit!
ones
I
like
didn't
that.
really do that. That's dope as fuck.
Exactly.
So like, what
that,
like
and then this is
where
the
the fuck? What the fuck are y'all looking at?
I'm gonna show you.
She has a new photo shoot that she just did with 1906 actually, so you have to look
You
out
ain't
for
see when I
that.
shared it to
The
story?
final product coming soon.
Facts. These are like the little pills. This is the website.
But yeah, they have a whole line, and there's one called Chill, and that's high CBD dosage. So if you're looking for a little bit less THC and you want to
Yeah,
just
so-
relax.
So they're like little
to try
sweet
some of
tarts.
these.
Yeah, and they have yes, but not to chew or suck on. They're specifically you swallow.
they've discussed
Swallow
I'm sorry,
with
Brian,
a
we
drink.
got it.
No, I know
Right.
we have to
Hey,
say
me,
these
this
things.
motherfucker
And this
right
is the
here,
craziest thing about working at dispensary. It was like the conversations you have with people are incredible and amazing, but they're crazy and weird
It's like you get to know
sometimes.
people
And
to a personal.
oh, I've spent like an hour with guests before, but you're learning about because it's not just selling products. That's
building
how I
rapport.
feel
It's
about it.
building
It's a little
rapport.
different. And
It's like being my legal weed man.
Yeah.
yeah, some places, dispensaries see it as more of like money building. Bring money
Yes.
in, and that's it. Bring money in.
'Cause
How
if
many
keep them
people
in
are
here
you
for an hour,
seeing?
that means
Do you
you-
have-
I'm holding.
yeah, that means they're
And
coming
they
back
saw that as a
consistently.
downfall sometimes, but guess what? That guest now just told me, fill up my basket. I don't care how much
Facts.
it is, and give me everything that we just
Facts.
talked about. And also, you don't even have to tell me what you're putting in there. Just put it in
Just do
there
it.
because I trust you.
At this
Yeah.
point.
Exactly, and that's what 15 minutes of talking to somebody can do. And then now you're shopping the rest of the way, like yes, no, and it's really fun because you build a personnel with them, and they come back later ready for they bring more money the next time, and that's what you
Yeah.
do
And it's
want
quicker. The
is
transaction is quicker.
that
this time
repetitive
as well, too. Yes.
customers. Is you don't want
I
the
was gonna
ones
ask
that
you,
are in and out bopping around to random dispensaries, which right now I'm that person because I'm like trial and error. I'm trying to find that right home essentially, or a few homes, because I can't stick with just one place. I feel like there's so many that are doing so many different things, but it's amazing what you can
That's dope, yo. Honestly.
you spend a couple, but different dispensaries are set up where they're run like a McDonald's, Starbucks, where you are pushed in and out. If you don't know what you want when you first
Yeah,
walk
that's what I was
in
gonna
there,
say.
they-
You could stay an hour in a dispensary.
it depends. See,
Especially
there was
days,
an environment that could be created like that.
Days
but
look chill.
Days you
Days
can
look
sit there. You
chill.
can sit in the
yeah,
things,
there's
you
a
can watch
lounge area.
movie.
I watched Friday when I went in there last time. I was
We
laughing
always
my
have
ass off.
movies playing in there.
We
We,
go to,
got bumping ass music.
We used to go to Theory, and when Theory get busy,
No.
there's a line.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
There's
like
a
theory?
line.
Well, okay. So when it comes to certain businesses, they run it very corporate. Theory is a corporate business.
They be undercover. Those securities are undercover cops, huh?
Maybe. Honestly, Theory, I mean, they got caught
Yeah,
up
okay.
earlier,
Yeah, well, like,
2021.
About it, too.
They got caught up not paying their employees like the correct amount. Like they had to
Oh,
back
shit.
pay anybody that worked for Theory starting like 2016, maybe even 18, something like that. They had to back pay people because they weren't appropriately
shit.
giving their correct checks.
They ain't
So,
getting my money no more.
it's stuff like that that's not taken lightly, I feel, when it comes to, minorities trying to get into this specific business, because if they're playing some of these games and being picky about who they're hiring and who they're keeping for a long time and X, Y, and Z, it does pan out to a bigger picture. Is why you have Connecticut with a social equity program with $3 million fee. Who can afford these things, at that base level. So
You know what they're doing.
Exactly. I mean, and that's that federal game that's being played.
What are those papers? What are they made of? The Days papers.
They're pure hemp.
Pure hemp?
Yeah.
So, I got a question. So,
I know you're wrong.
street weed or dispensary?
Both.
Both.
Both?
Both.
Yeah, because I
It
like to
depends
shop
on who I
around.
get.
Yeah, I like options. I like to pick what I'm in the mood for. It's gonna
Okay.
set the vibe.
Also, budget right
Yeah.
now
True.
in
Yeah,
life.
definitely.
Let's be real.
Definitely
True.
budget.
We don't have,
Dispensary be taxing the fuck out of
Oh
shit,
yeah,
man.
and yeah, if you
Is
don't,
that you see that ever getting lower?
yes, I mean, if you look at like West Coast to floating towards East Coast, you have Midwest Colorado. Colorado's doing their thing. So if you see the trend, yeah, it does go lower, but it's also state regulations and all these things that come into play too. So, and I learned each dispensary locally, I feel, with their town or their county, I guess, they can kind of pick and choose how much tax they want to add on additional to the state tax. That's no question. So you might have dispensaries that are adding on top of state, including, everything else there. So you're not walking away just with just the state tax. There might be some local
Man,
and all
it's
these
like
other
2 taxes
things.
on that bitch. Or
Yeah.
worse, if you use a card, it's like an ATM. It's like,
Yeah,
nah, nigga.
Maine is
And
like
it's the problem-
10%.
it's
That's why
only gonna
people
get
like it
worse
up
when
there.
it's
Really?
federally
Is it really
legal.
10%?
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
now they're gonna tax the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
It's an extra hoops. Oh, it's gonna be worse when you have to be FDA
yeah.
approved.
And that's and it's the thing why there's a big talk about Maine and how they're like fighting for that small business, local grow, medical based, because it keeps it tight. Like you have a bunch of medical growers or even like home grower people who have clients and patients they can grow from. They grow fire weed, and it's not on that store-bought level though. You just have a medical card, you go see your man over here or over there, and they have their supply. And that's why Maine functions the way it does, because they're trying to keep it away from those corporations that are trying to buy out the small businesses and put their big names all over everything. Yeah.
So, Shayla, do you see yourself staying into the dispensary business, or do you see yourself expanding out and become like an influencer yourself, or do you have like other goals do you have with it?
I see myself at the dispensary probably for the next few years. Simply because specifically Days, it puts me in the right position to help me grow as an individual. So, because not only do I like work for them as a budtender, but I do modeling for them as well. I host events with them. I host events for them. We do meet and greet, so they give opportunities for us to meet people in the industry and
Oh, that's
connect
dope.
with them.
So it's like a great networking opportunity for you.
Yeah,
It's amazing
for sure.
there. I'm like
for sure.
so
I'm
sad
gonna-
it
I'm
wasn't
like I said,
something
I'm
that
coming
was
back
Take
there.
good care of us,
Yeah.
for
I'm
sure.
coming
I gotta come check that place out.
It really is. As soon as they popped up, I'm like, I gotta go over there and just like show them some love, because it was something that was so different in Western Mass specifically. Like,
And that's the whole
And Old
point.
Nigga's trash. Old
That's-
Nigga's not that fun.
and that's the thing. They're trying to give a little revive. I feel like to Holyoke. They're
Yeah.
It's
doing.
beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
They're
Holyoke
can-
is beautiful.
Yes,
but the
it's run
culture and
down.
the lifestyle of that shit's not that much.
But that's what
going
I'm
on.
saying. Now these businesses, they're bringing money, but it just. I know Holyoke is trying to bring in the right businesses.
Okay.
They are. There's something even on the way called Hubcraft. It's like a brand that they have multiple brands underneath. So they're working with people like Paul Pierce and
PG,
Okay.
PG. No, but the truth.
I'm
I'm
about
sorry.
to say.
Wrong
yeah, I
call.
mean Oprah Winfrey. They
Fuck
have
Oprah.
Is this for
Peyton,
weed? Oh,
Gary
damn, bro.
Payton-
Come
Fuck
on,
Oprah.
man.
Gary Payton.
I scream fuck Oprah.
You
all
know,
the way.
like so.
This is for weed?
Yeah, Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey's in weed?
Yeah, after she finished.
She has a CBD baseline, like it's high CBD base. So
she's
you
trying
know
to
they
make
have their
people forget that she
clientele.
chocolate
Yeah,
girls.
you know, Martha.
Bro.
I think I don't even want to say Martha Stewart's on there, but you know, look, I'm like there's. And that's the craziest part is when it comes to cannabis, yes, you have those people that are now putting their name on products
Just
that are like,
forget about their bad past.
okay, exactly.
Like I'm trying to be with you guys, you know.
Honestly,
I support what you
yeah.
support.
Right?
You have Lil' Kim coming out with a strain. It's called, I think, Aphrodisiac. Like, you have people, random
Jay-Z
people
has a
coming out
strain.
with, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ex Sean Kemp. He got his own dispensary as well too.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people in the basketball sports.
Isn't Jay-Z shit like fucking $100 a blunt or some shit?
I've never
Nah,
seen it.
it's like six. It's like regular price, a little bit upgraded though, like high class weed. It's like
Rick Ross
regular.
weed is good.
Regular.
Is it really good though?
Rick Ross weed is
I never
good.
smoked it before,
Yeah, Rick Ross.
but
has
I
it.
know.
Oh,
Pink
Rosé?
well, Rick Ross, like the rapper you're speaking
Yeah.
of. Yeah, and now that you mention Rick Ross, Ricky Ross, like Freeway, he's a part of the Hubcraft.
Really?
Yeah,
he
he
really?
has he has
That's
a strain
dope.
coming out too with them, and so that's coming to Holyoke, you know, in the next like
That's
this
fire.
year. So
There's a lot of things going on. in
yeah,
Mass
they
right
have
now,
you know a
weed-wise.
few names that you could say that are questionable, but then you know they're making sure they represent the right way.
That's
Yeah, that's dope. That's
How do
dope.
you guys feel? You ever heard of THC wine?
Yes,
Is it
I've been
good?
trying to get hands on my bottle. You gotta. How you
I
got
have
it?
I mean, I can slide you an Instagram
Yeah,
link
I
too.
need that because
Yeah.
I've been trying to order
It's
that.
called
so they
Be
tell me-
Edible. I believe that's the brand
Be
name.
Edible?
Because they tell me you
Yes.
could only order it in Cali. That's the only place you can get it from. I was looking at it.
I met this brand in Boston at a cannabis wedding expo that I was modeling
see
at,
that.
and they had a crazy amount of vendors there. You know, it's a show
Yeah,
that they
how-
say there's not going to be any cannabis, but
There's always cannabis.
there was cannabis there, and
You
she
can't
was.
promote cannabis.
Right.
Of course, she had the wine, and she said per glass, you know, whatever the base, you know, glass. I think it's 6 milliliters or something like that for a glass of wine. But either way, the base glass of wine has about 50 milligrams of THC in it in her brand, and I'm like, she said you're one and done type of thing. So
Really?
it's a sip situation. Yeah. So I'll make sure I get
I
that
know of
over
a
to you.
sedative like that you can put in your
God, it's so
wine
good.
to add to it, and it's tasteless.
Y'all gotta,
It's
y'all
like
gotta
a
put me
float
on
What
the
is
packet.
product.
There's a lot of
It's
You
just
gotta
a
put me on
float
the
packet.
products.
It's
The
like
flow packet.
Ooh, you
Yeah.
gotta tell me about
So
that.
have you had
It's like-
tincture? Tincture?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had that for the first time the other day, and I was like, this shit got me drunk.
Oh, it's
It
amazing.
was a drunk high.
It's
that
a
shit was nice.
super
So is that like drops?
intense.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's
You
like
put them under your tongue.
yeah, and just let it sit. Yeah,
Some
that
are
shit was
water
nice.
soluble, so they actually like melt within a liquid and they don't sit, you know, on top like an oil. Because a lot of them are oil based,
Yes,
but
the
then you
one I
have
had was
some
oil
that
You
based.
can put them in
actually.
your drinks too.
Yeah.
And just mix them
Yo,
in like
that
your
shit-
teas and
I used to
stuff.
do, oh my god, tincture tea at work.
All this
Man.
weed shit right now.
I'll be on a little
High,
cloud.
just thinking-
I'm y'all talking about this
Y'all
weed shit.
gotta
I'm
put me
getting high
on.
talking.
Like anytime,
We
like,
got you.
Send me links. I'm
crazy.
Yeah, no,
I'm
seriously,
gonna try this
there's
shit.
so much stuff out there.
I want to
And
try the
it's-
lotion. I want to try THC
No,
lotion.
have you had the ice cream?
Oh, topicals are my favorite.
Ice cream.
Ice
The
cream?
ice. We have ice cream at Days.
What's it, Clyde?
What?
the hell's
So
going on here?
good. I swear it's so good.
Yeah,
we have,
so we are taking
Yo,
a trip.
we gotta go. We gotta come to Days.
Seriously,
go to
Days
Days.
has a fire menu, especially, you know, when they came out on the scene, they were, you know, quote unquote, a newer dispensary. And I mean, they had a selection that was, from my understanding and working in dispensary at the time, it was just different. They had
That's
different things on the menu,
wavy.
not stuff that was standard, what people in the area were looking for. It was like, broaden your horizons if you're going to come here type
Shout
of
out
thing.
to fucking Days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Ooh, that
Facts.
shit got me excited just
I have a
thinking about
question.
that.
I have a question.
Speaking
Oh my god, he
of-
got a
wait,
question.
we
Oh my
actually-
god. Oh my
We
god.
actually just smoked on their new
Yes.
bud that just came out.
We've been smoking so much. I don't
Yeah.
know which one day.
It was in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it was like one of the first ones we smoked.
Okay.
Okay.
When it had the red lipstick on it.
I still don't
That
remember.
was the
Okay, I
LA
remember that one. That one was hitting.
Yeah, that
That one
was
was
the LA
hitting.
Kush cake.
I remember. Yes, the LA Kush. Yes, I remember that one. I remember that one specifically. That one was definitely hitting. So
That's
your
the
question, my
newest
good
thing
man.
I've had.
You actually have a question. I'm proud of you. Your brain is waking up.
You said I had a question.
Yeah.
Nigga, I done forgot that shit already.
It was 2 seconds. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think it's there.
That shit was gone. What do you mean it's too good to be true? That shit was
So
gone.
Spari, my guy, yo.
Yo, what's the
What's
vibe?
going on? What's good with the music, my nigga? 'Cause
Why they
you
call
know-
you the human iPod?
Man, they call me the human iPod because I make hits. That's it.
Get closer to one of these mics, man. Real quick, man. I didn't bring my headphones, so.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. They call me the human iPod because I just make hits, man. Human iPod, like I said, we just be in the studio locked in all the time, just making music all the time, creating all the time, just making sure we always working that brain, like you say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Like, if you don't practice, you ain't never gonna
Gotta
be the
keep that
best.
tool sharp.
That's on it. You can't be the best if you don't practice. Feel me?
Hard work over talent.
Yeah.
Are you the same monster but a different beast?
That's that COVID shit. Yo, I was just about to say that AI is Kobe. That's crazy. Yo, different monster and the same beast. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I just love this music shit, man. It just come real easy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I like that.
And I say creatively, like when it comes to like writing and formulating music, like I'm very good at that. I'm very crafty at that. Feel me? Different swags, different type of melodies and stuff like that. So I come with a lot of melodies.
From these other people out here, because you know when we had Trap Phone in here, my nigga Trap Phone said he was. Niggas need to come tell him thank you. That's where he at with that.
Yes.
I'm not gonna hold you. Let me tell you why Trap could say that though. Trap could say that because he come with a different slang that sounds different from other people. So I could always
that shit
get
grandly, man. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You feel me? But when it come to that melodic shit, nah.
You would do different.
I'm different.
How you feel about
You right there?
Yeah,
How you
that's
feel
me.
about auto-tune?
Auto-tune. All right, so auto-tune is a tool that's supposed to be used, and it doesn't have to be used, but it's supposed to be used in certain situations. Certain people try to use auto-tune just to overdevelop their voice past the capability of what it's actually doing, so it doesn't really sound very tightened, and it doesn't really
robot
sound
sound.
very honed. It's a robot sound. Feel me? Like, if I use auto-tune, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I go very light on it. Like, I'm like a 12% kind of person. You feel me? I'm not going to, put this shit on 98 real quick so I can sound like this. You feel me? Like,
And fake singing for that shit.
It's just supposed to fix certain notes. It's not supposed to make you be able to do the notes.
Okay.
That's practice.
I like
you
where
feel
you
me?
put
People
that.
trying to do the AI instead of doing the Kobe.
Facts. You got to learn how to do the math before you can use a
Feel me?
calculator.
Not everybody got that capability like AI had. You know what I'm saying,
Facts.
bro? You really got to, feel me? Develop your sound, bro. Develop your sound.
That's very true.
Facts. Okay. All right.
Now that you said 12% auto tune, I'm like trying to think of where all these artists are with their.
Probably
98.
You
Yeah,
know, I'm like,
98.
we're definitely in the 80s plus, so I you know, I'm gonna respect
Some
that.
auto-tune is cool. No, don't get me
no,
wrong.
Don't get me
It-
wrong.
Some
it's
is
a thing.
cool.
So check this out. Like, I love a Travis Scott type of auto tune because he's not.
That sounds good.
It sounds very great, and he's not coming at it on a light where he's trying to sing. No, he's coming
Yeah.
at it on a light where
Giving you-
He's an
Straight
artist.
vibes.
This
Straight
Yeah.
vibes.
It's
Straight
artistic.
vibes. Yeah.
It's like when Kanye come on and give you them different voices
Yeah, I
on
was
his
gonna
tracks.
say Cudi.
It's-
Yeah,
Yeah, he uses
Exactly.
voice as an
Cudi is a
instrument.
great
So,
example.
Yo,
Yes.
as a
I love
super-
Cudi, except when he wear them dresses.
We're, you know, he's.
I'm a
he's
man. I'm
evolved
sorry, I'm a
into-
man. So I'm not one of them people that look at
I
everything.
They wear no dresses.
I don't think you could say being a man's man is the reason why you don't look at it. Yo, over the years, bro, I've developed my brain a little bit more. You know what I started thinking, bro? People are made certain way for real. I really started to believe that because I watch different people's reaction and different people's movement in their life, and they say what certain shit, but they do certain shit. You feel me? So now you gotta really differentiate the difference between people, bro. If they feel like that's who they are, it's none of my business. You feel me? At the same time,
I ain't taking it that far, but sometimes some people are brainwashed into the things that they believe.
All
is
out-
true.
that is true.
All
That is
I'll
also
say
true to me
about
sometimes.
Cudi is his brain has been expanded.
It's the
to a
acid and all the shit that he used to
level
do.
that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He's gone, touch the moon, and come back down.
Shit,
to
I
Earth.
did too. I ain't do all of them
Multiple
shit.
times.
Ask you a
I can
question.
even.
Go ahead.
What do you feel about these artists nowadays using all these extra type of drugs to do their music? What do you feel like?
I don't
what's
think
your
they're
take on
actually
that?
doing those drugs.
I don't know.
Future admitted he don't do the drugs.
That's my answer to that. I don't think they're actually doing those drugs.
Because like, certain people, like I'm not gonna say names, but certain artists done told us like they're not actually doing these things. They're saying these things
'Cause it's
to get you
cool.
to peddle these.
Yes.
things. It's the cool thing to do. Like they're trying to give you a new type of trend. But like for me, what do you think about them actually giving you that trend that's actually destroying you though?
But you know who I'm learning who's profiting off all of this?
Mm.
Prisons.
Mm.
Nigga, if you really look into the deep research of how shit's going on,
Actually,
prisons actually have
you're right.
investments into the rap community.
Yeah, because
told about it. And
a lot of record execs,
my
a lot of
God.
record
Ever
execs
since the
are invested
90s,
into-
they
into
started pushing
prisons.
conscious music.
Yes.
And because all of these people who are pushing the rap music, they started investing into prisons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once they started investing into prisons, they're like, how can we get more money out of the prisons? The music.
Feeding through the music.
Rap
Yeah.
music was the
Specifically.
specific,
If you
and
pump
rap
violence-
music was the specific target. Well, not country music, not R&B music. It was
They were
rap
bringing these artists
music.
to
Yeah,
like
you
secret
pump-
meetings.
yeah.
They
Yes.
didn't know
Our
that
KRS
about
ones.
this.
That's why they started
They
fading
signed
off, but they were
contracts
getting
before they
killed
left.
out.
Yeah.
They were literally getting pushed out by the industry to make room for these new
Yeah,
artists.
like if you didn't get down with what was said in the meeting,
You're pushed
done.
out. Yes.
Yeah.
And there was literally a
Yes.
closed door meeting for this.
Yep.
Literally. Like if you watch real like the proper
makes
interviews,
sense.
there were closed door meetings where niggas signed NDAs about things that were talked about. And if you weren't part of it, you basically was pushed out. You ain't making no more money off the rap game no more. Because you weren't getting moved with the new movement.
Yeah.
So
didn't
slowly
know
after
that,
that,
but
all the
that makes
consciousness got
sense.
pushed
It
out.
really does.
That
When I
makes
first
sense.
heard it, my brain was just like stuck.
Like, oh,
I'm like,
Because
But
when you
once
first
you-
said prisons, I was like, what? How?
But when you
Yeah,
think
right.
Yeah,
about
you
it,
got-
I
you-
see
all
that.
you do is
That's
pump violence into people's head and shit like that.
and then when you do that, even if you don't do it, if you have a listener who's listening from he, from she, from that person, from
Right.
that person, it's like after a while, it's like, this is how, like, when you're down and out and you're back against the wall subconsciously, you're going to go back to what's been feeding it. You're going to go to that because you think that's the way that you're going to eat. So now you're going to do whatever it takes to do it. Or eventually you're trying to win so bad. And even if your back is not against the wall, you're just hungry for it. You're going to take food in front of you just because you think that's what it's cool to do.
Facts.
Like, and that's when if you watch YouTube, there's lawyers who's literally there to break down rap lyrics just to incriminate you. Literally, they understand the lingo better
I've been
than me.
seeing more videos about this, and it's just been breaking my brain.
How
I'm
shit
like,
is society's
wow.
crazy.
I mean, it is. It really is.
Yo, but that's my situation, right? Where it comes to somebody like a Vlad, right? You go, Vlad is a bad guy. And Vlad do this, he's the police. But then you got everybody coming on there and answering all the questions that he asked and telling all their business.
Right.
And saying, yo, I was the biggest trapper here. I did this. Me and my niggas was gangsters. We did all this crazy shit. And then you backing up your music videos. You got guns in your music videos. You got drugs in your music videos. And like, yo, how are you calling somebody one man the police, but you incriminating yourself all day?
And that a lot of people that like say that's controversial and shit. And that's where I'm talking about. A lot of shit, they're not doing it. Because if you're doing it, you're not going to talk about it.
Right.
Real
Yeah,
killers, real
for
killers
real.
don't talk about
It's
who
not
they
like-
beefing with.
And
Niggas
the
just come
ones
up
that
and
did
eat your
didn't
food.
get caught, so.
And they're doing it to get caught, just to be
Right.
like it's for the publicity stunt, because they probably got
It
the
was
parents.
Like,
and I did this, and they're gonna get a slap on the hand, but they don't show the slap on the hand. They're just gonna show like I got arrested and doing all this
Hell
extra
nah,
shit.
not no more. They locking these niggas up.
Yeah,
they are
they
locking
are.
these niggas up for years.
First of all, I'm not a
Yeah.
nigga, so they're not gonna lock me up. That's first and
But I
foremost.
feel like this could go hand in hand with like years ago when they were trying to claim video games had a part on
But
brain activity and just
But if
how
you-
people would
And kids
move.
murdering
And they
kid
were like,
people.
no. But I mean, it's
look at San Andreas. I think San Andreas was a big culprit on desensitization in our community, especially in my generation.
Not me though. I love
We can't speak for us. I'm not. It's hard for us to
Right,
speak
right,
for
right.
us. We have to speak for the general
Video
community.
Yeah.
game and really know how to play.
San Andreas.
Merc
But think about it.
motherfuckers.
Like think
You
about
know,
video
hooker.
games though.
Vice
Like
City. The old
oh,
one.
Vice City was
Vice
lit.
City was fire.
San Andreas is my favorite one because you can swim in that one.
Give
All
us
that type of
GTA
shit.
6, you motherfuckers.
No, but think about it like shit like that though. Like when you get
Stupid
killed in there,
motherfuckers.
you come back to life in a matter of seconds. So it's like the value
You
of a
have
life
that-
get depreciated
exactly.
at that point because now you don't see the
You
fact
think you
that
have
when
a
you
do-over.
die, you come back, you can keep living. You don't see that soul is actually gone and all of that now. So
But now it's like a war on the easily influenced.
it's a war in your
Right.
subconscious.
Yeah.
That's why like I always tell people like, yeah, there's hope for certain people. That it's not too late for some people, but I also am a true believer. It's like once you wash your brain too much, it's washed forever.
But you know what's interesting? In China, right? So you know how TikTok here we got like dances and shit.
I was just saying, yeah.
They got engineering.
I just seen Dave
That-
this nigga
that-
showed
They
actually
have-
post some shit like that as well
They promote
too.
they promote engineering and math
Things for the youth and stuff like
shit
that.
like that
Yeah,
on
their
their
algorithm
TikToks.
lays
They make that
differently.
shit popular more than a fucking dance and somebody just being a TikTok star.
But answer this question though. How was it this easy to become a basketball star back in 2002? Was it as easy to be a
It
rap
still
star
is
back
not.
in this in 2002? It wasn't as easy, my nigga. Because at that,
easy.
I think
It's
it
not
got
easy.
easier. Not only
not easy.
with social media and everything, but it got so much easier because now the expectations of what it means to be a rapper has completely lowered.
When you said NBA,
I don't know, but it's,
when you
know
said
what's-
NBA,
can't
you
really
lost
say
me.
that
For the
because-
NBA, my nigga, not
you
a lot of
lost
people
me with
made
the
it.
NBA.
Listen,
A
it's a
lot of
different
people make
time,
it. A
like-
lot of people don't make it to the NBA.
It's a totally different time. Like if the younger generation favors that, then that's what's gonna hit because they're the ones that buy. They're the ones who influence what we buy.
And that's my thing.
The
we always
kids,
say it's a different time, but we don't talk about the things that make it a different time. You know, we always just accept the fact that it's just a different time. Like we don't talk
But it
about
led
the
into
transition
something.
period.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't talk about
exactly.
that transition
Exactly.
period because it's like there was always a status quo before there was ever a new status quo.
Right.
But we always could talk about this is the new times, man. You gotta get with it. But we don't talk about what's really happening in that transitional period
I
because
can think of when it went from no internet to like you only have to use the
the internet.
and,
Exactly.
Yeah,
now it's the
facts.
normal.
communicate.
You can't think of
It was
anything
a
beyond that.
transition because you
Facts.
grew
You
up
show certain kids a cassette player, they're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
to what,
A
like,
VHS, like
The
what
fuck
is
is
that?
dial-up?
Yeah, it's like anything like that.
Disney movie on VH1.
Not,
I mean on VHS.
and then I seen an article, I seen a title that I said,
Facts, you know you get that orange DVD, you know you get that
Yes.
Rugrats.
Right.
I seen an article that said kids now are learning about 9/11 and they weren't alive for 9/11. Like think about that.
Wow.
Like that just shows you how at that point now what are they teaching about 9/11? Like have you look at like your nieces and nephews or even you have kids like look at their math homework that they're bringing home
look at
now?
What they try to do about slavery in the South. They try
Exactly.
to delete it from.
Yes,
school
now we came here by
education.
choice. We came
I
here
think
by
they
choice.
Did, yeah. So
That's the new argument for slavery now. We came here by
Yeah.
choice.
They
Exactly.
soon
So-
they soon
I
about to
didn't
tell
hear that.
everybody
Maybe I
that we've
heard
been
that.
here.
This is new history that they're teaching.
Oh yeah.
They soon about to
Like
tell everybody that
passed
we've
No,
been.
that's a lot.
I'm dead ass.
My niece
Was it
is in
Texas
middle school
or-
right now.
Nah, they
No,
really
I
do
don't
teach
know what state
migrate.
it was.
They
but
said it was a
very
migration.
hip and understands, and they teach.
What school she go to?
I'm not gonna tell you what school she goes to, but
Is it a STEM school, a magnet school?
it's a public school.
It's a public school.
Yeah.
But I think public school now are
They're
better
trying to-
than they are because it's not a lot of them left.
You said in
And-
Texas though?
No, she
Oh.
said Texas.
Nah,
I
public
was
schools
just
are
saying Texas
dying.
about the law, like
Oh,
changing the
Texas
law
is
about-
Texas is a whole republic on their own now. They're not part of the United States anymore.
I
Oh,
still
that actually
consider
happened?
Texas
I think it's
success.
official now. I think it's official. But Texas
Nah,
has
that
always
ain't-
been a republic.
That ain't gonna happen.
What? No, I think it's official.
Nah, that ain't gonna
Nigga, why do you think there has been so many fucking gun violence going on in Texas
There
right
is
now?
no way in hell.
And why do you think Texas had that bad snow? I'm sorry, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
There's no way in hell the U.S. government is gonna allow any state to secede.
But nowadays,
No way.
it's not about politics, my nigga. It's all
It is-
about. Look what China is doing in
It's about-
Africa.
it's about
not
money.
about exactly.
Exactly.
If you have the right amount of money and the right opportunities to make something, anything is possible. You're telling me if I can buy a star that I would never be able to go to, I can't make shit happen on Earth?
If you buy a star, you're
He
stupid.
said, "Look what China's doing in Africa."
Yes.
What's China doing?
They buy
Is
they
it-
buy
is it-
Africa.
I'm trying
they
to.
teach
I can't think of it. The
everybody
specific. Is it Zimbabwe or something like that? Afghanistan.
It's
But
a
they-
lot of places.
No, this one specific. They
It's
bought
a
them, I
lot
think,
of
for
places.
$40 billion. They bought a whole country. Literally bought a whole country because China is the only
Sure they have
bank.
resources
They have the
there,
only
huh?
international bank that's giving out loans to anybody.
Mhm.
They don't give a fuck what you have going on or what collateral you can give up. They're taking loan. They're giving a loan to anybody. Oh, you need an infrastructure fix? Oh, 700,000. Oh, you don't know how you can pay it back? We worry about that when it comes to it. But when it comes to it, is that now these political officials are so deep in financially that they owe China. And how do you pay that back? If you can't pay the money that you owe, what do you pay back? You sell your country.
Mm-hmm. You let them build whatever they want to build.
That's why Jamaica's going around trying to convince people that they're going to pay back China. They're trying to convince the world that they're going to pay back China because they see what China is doing. China's colonizing Africa
Well,
on
they
a
just
financial
made
standpoint.
a deal with Russia.
Mm.
30-year gas. deal or
Yes,
something.
exactly. And now the
So-
West is going to suffer from that as well, too, because now
Yeah.
there's some after effects of that. I forgot how about the article about that, but
Yeah, there's
That's
a
another
lot
thing going on with
that's
that.
Big picture.
China
Certain
is taking over the
jurisdictions, certain
world.
Countries can come close to each other too when it comes to like owning land and shit.
yeah,
like that.
but those are...
Yeah.
like there's a whole treaty going around that nobody can have I don't know, I think this is gonna start the next thing that's gonna come up. There's a treaty that nobody can do business in Antarctica. I think that's gonna be the next place where things is going
Why?
on
Because
because
it's like the place that is
Nobody.
the conspiracy,
Nobody
the
can-
conspiracy.
looking, like you gotta
You wanna hear the
look into
conspiracy
global
answer?
warming type stuff.
You want to hear the conspiracy
Or-
answer from my point of view? It's the real center of the earth, and a lot of things that's actually going on there. They refuse to have people go there to investigate
believe
it,
that.
so they make all of these treaties to actually keep everything out from there.
Because in retrospect, they have all the technology to build every type of fort,
Everything.
layer,
There's-
cellar in that ice.
Yeah, I got you. There's caves in Antarctica right now that's literally hollowed out due to the geothermal energy that's coming on there. Like the conspiracy media, the people from my research, they say they have like Russian tanks and all these different types of tanks stored in there just from the caves because nobody can go there. So there's certain people that have access to certain things and certain things is stored there. That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what?
Easy.
Before we go. So thank you guys for coming through. Definitely appreciate it. So of course, before we go, could you guys drop your social media handles?
Of course, thanks for having us. And my social media handle is, my weed page is at Shayla Stoner, SHACEE Stoner. And then my main page, my modeling page is Afro_Latina with 3 E's at the end. And you can hit me up if you got any creative ideas or want to collaborate in the future. I'm open to work with anyone local and to just kind of, venture out.
All right.
Thank you, Weed and Whiskey,
Yes.
for having us podcast. It was so much fun today. And my IG handle is Kenli Helena. That's at KENLI.HELENA. And again, yes, like Shay, if you want to hit us up, questions, concerns, just, like our stuff, share, whatever,
You guys are very
comment,
knowledgeable in this shit.
show the engagement as well if you ever see our pages. And
Oh, they will if they follow
we're
us.
very, very, very friendly
Yeah.
people, and we just love to, communicate.
This was definitely a
And
great
of
vibe.
course, come out to Days. We're at
Yes.
Holyoke at 56 Jackson Street. Pop out.
They got
We
good
the
weed. I can
best
vouch for it.
weather.
I've been
there.
Come for the vibes.
I'm
Come for the
fried.
setup. It's
So,
You can just
we
sit in the
been smoking
lounge
that
after you
shit
buy,
all
like-
night.
Spari, drop your shit, nigga.
Yo, my name.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
drop
just
it.
set the
Yo,
camera. It's for
my-
the
my-
camera. It's for the camera now.
for
You
the
good.
camera.
Yeah.
Alright, so check this out. Social media.
I didn't even know it was for the camera. I was looking at the mic like.
Yo, check this out, man. Social media. I am Spari.
Yo.
I'm here, so yeah, I am Spari. Wait, didn't I change it to just Spari recently? Did I change it from I am Spari? Is it just Spari now?
Nigga, we gonna set up a whole interview just for you.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We got to.
Okay, it's still I am Spari. Alright, so follow me at I am Spari. I've been in my life just
He's
doing
been
a lot of
grinding,
things
yeah.
and just grinding, bro. I haven't really been on social media. I just been working and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So bear
Yes.
with me. I'm coming back to Instagram. Bear with me.
This is
Alright,
the comeback podcast.
This is an
Let's do
interview soon
something
to
else.
come.
Yeah.
Interview soon to come, specifically just for you, man. We're gonna
Yo,
talk
so
about
that's
why
crazy,
you're
right?
on
So-
iPod.
Yo, Hard to Love coming out, featuring Shayla Stoner, featuring Kenli as well. Did I say that right this
Yes,
time?
yes.
100%
Yes.
featuring Kenli as well. We had a dope vibe. We did it at Days Cannabis, so shout out to Days Cannabis.
Yeah.
For me, it was a great experience, and since that, it's just been great experiences. From even the meet and greets with certain people was dope. All type of other events that I've been to for me, behind the scenes work and stuff like that. Yo, it's been really dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to Days.
Honestly, every time I hear your name, I think of Street Fighter.
He already knew.
Like every time I hear, that's the first thing I'm like, all right. I see the Kenli, like I'm like a Kenli or Chun-Li.
When I actually have to pronounce my name, I'll do KENLEE, so you can understand how to pronounce it. Yeah, because people like to add letters and.
Yeah, as I'm
Trust
saying,
me, I know how it is. I know how it is.
What's the
And
worst?
then
What's the
Spot-
worst pronunciation you got for your name?
Oh, I don't even. People have gotten, the standard names for Kimberly, Kelly. I've gotten Kendall.
They just skip your name.
Yeah, they just don't
Not even
hear
close.
me.
Yeah,
They
assume,
hear the
yeah,
first
you just
3
assume.
letters
Don't
and they
even
go,
read it.
"Oh, okay," and I'm like, "No,
Damn, I thought mine was bad.
no."
Royce do call me Mark like 4 times. I'm sitting here telling him my name like, yo, why are you shortening it to Mark? It's not my name.
And that's the thing. They try to force you into some shortening or
That's
whatever
because
they
they can't
like.
pronounce it.
Exactly.
They
It's
can't-
okay though.
Yeah, I got mine butchered a few times. I got called Oceanae before.
I'm sure.
Oceanae.
Oceanae.
If
Don't
I
do
used to
that.
I used to school pictures. If you were a little kid and I had to read your card and I never seen your name before, I probably would have messed it up too, honestly.
It was, so it was.
I don't even know why else was funny, but he laughed, bro.
It was so exciting.
It's funny, like that's what makes it funny. This is what makes it more hilarious. Like the guy that actually fucked my name, right? It was my geometry teacher back in high
I
school.
was gonna say it's gotta be school. 'cause-
Everybody made fun of him because he used to love talking about how he go camping alone in his minivan. And he used to always talk about how he got licorice. he used to always talk about how he want people to go camping with him. To offer him licorice.
Oh my God! Now he was.
Yeah, nowadays we can go to jail for that shit.
Like
You can't
camping.
that shit.
Now he was
scratch my
rude.
head.
She's like,
That's what I'm saying. Licorice shit. What you trying
he
to
has
do?
a secret cabin.
Nah.
He looked
no
the
He
type.
said
though.
liquor.
He
Kids
looked the
love
type.
liquor.
He looked the type. He looked like the type,
I ain't gonna
man.
hold you. That's some slang right there. No licorice, man.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks. Licorice is maybe offering some sweets.
What type of kid like licorice anyway, nigga? Like,
How you like your licorice?
No.
Oh man, I like this. I like this close off. I'm about to snip this part just to Instagram. That's what I'm about to do. Thank you guys for coming through. We had a great ass time, man.
Great.
Tune in, guys, and have a great fucking
hey,
week.
follow us though.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe
Yes.
and like, comment, and do some
Yes.
other shit because we great and y'all great too.
Leave
Weed
us-
and whiskey.
yeah.
Weed and whiskey.
Leave us stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go to the website, www.weedandwhiskeypodcast.com. Whiskey with an E, please. Whiskey with an E.
Yeah.
Go turn my camera off.
Peace. Hey man. The fuck wrong with you, bro?
Thank you guys. That was fun. I actually
Yes.
learned a lot, and I'm actually excited just to try new shit. And weed now.
Oh, we're gonna
Cut this shit out, nigga.
Yes.
Proud